Tyrese Haliburton can't even hit big shots without being clowned on these days. I mean, yes, his foot was on the line, so the choke celebration was a little too early. But Jason Tatum can rest now. Haliburton is the corniest player in the league. Really? The greatest comeback in playoff history? Man can't even celebrate? Even wearing a Hali jersey will get trash thrown at you these days. People just love to hate on this man. But it's not just the fans, it is the players who do not respect his game, which is not new for Haliburton. College scouts didn't respect his game in high school, he wasn't recruited. NBA GMs didn't respect his game in the draft, he fell. But conference finals yet again. So is this just a fluke? Or is people's hate blinding them to how good Haliburton actually is? Well, can you believe, according to an advanced stat site called Unpredictable, the Pacers have 3 of the top 7 all-time playoff comebacks since 1977, all in the last 2 weeks. The Bucks come back round 1, Cleveland round 2, and now this Knicks game. But who is in the middle of all of it? Tyrese Haliburton. He's the most clutch player in the game. With the game on the line, Hali is 12-2 this season, an 86% field goal percentage. For context, Michael Jordan was 46% in his career. And when he hits the shot, he talks trash in their face. No wonder they hate him. So a lot has been made about the Athletics anonymous player poll, where a bunch of players voted Hali most overrated. But it makes sense. But the conference finals have been good so far. Even better, every single night guaranteed when I play Underdog, because when I've got a little on the line with Pick'em, where I pick higher or lower for stats for whatever game I'm gonna watch that night, guaranteed to have a lot more fun, especially if I'm playing one of their original games. Lately, I've been into ladders, where you build your team, and the better they do, the more you can win, up to 100x. So let me give you my 2 picks for tonight. First up is Mikal Bridges, lower on his points and assists, and then Obi Toppin, higher on his points, rebounds, and assists. And best of luck if you're tailing those picks. Check out this map. Underdog's available in all these highlighted states. I live in Texas, used to live in California. Florida's got champions. By the way, if it's your first time signing up, nothing helps out the channel more than using the promo code AMHOOPS. Also, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special free pick. Think back to last year when he did the Dame time celebration in Lillard's face before Hali ever even won a playoff game. Later, he called Dame a in the middle of a game. Damn. Even clowns random players like Trenton Walford for never making the playoffs. Really, dude? Like, you make it 1 year and the next year you're like, oh, the playoffs, yeah, it's pretty sweet, but you wouldn't know anything about it. That is corny. So yes, I can see why other players are like, screw this guy, he's annoying. Oh, and his dad didn't help much by getting in Giannis's face, who is one of the most liked players in the NBA. But none of this even matters if the dude can play. Like Larry Bird, one of the most legendary trash talkers ever, but no one cared because he could back it up. And Haliburton backs it up, right? I mean, averages 20 points and 10 assists a game, 2-time All-Star. But when we analyzed Hali's game in film study a while back, there was something strange. First of all, his jump shot. Looks like something out of a black and white film from 1955, okay? It's got these little hitch in it, but somehow goes in. Unlike a smooth, pretty shot like Kevin Durant that most players could only dream of having. Then his drives are like the most vanilla thing ever. Nothing super advanced here with the ball. Just gonna push it across to his right hand, then turn on the jets and dart to the basket. Great. On the flip side, you got like a Kyrie Irving who does a ton of fancy work just to get to the basket, making the crowd go, ooh. That's not to mention Kyrie's handles, which are ridiculous. Look at the bench's reaction during this All-Star game. But Haliburton, one-on-one, God help him if his shot isn't falling, because there ain't much there. So players respect things that they themselves cannot do. Instead, when they're guarding Haliburton, they think to themselves, this dude isn't elite. I could totally cook this dude in the gym one-on-one. Why is he making the Olympic team when guys like Jaylen Brown can't get there? Why is he making a supermax contract when only the best of the best are supposed to get that? Overrated. But the reason is somehow it works. His game might not be the prettiest, but it gets the job done more often than not. You don't even have to respect it. The proof is in the numbers. Back-to-back conference finals for a reason. But while we're on the subject, this is similar to another villain on the Pacers. Reggie Miller was also accused of being corny, which he probably is, who also hit a big shot in a Knicks collapse. But there is a big difference between Reggie's shot and Hali shot that people aren't talking about. So it was May 7th, 1995, second round of the NBA playoffs, also game 1 in New York. Knicks were up 6 with 18.7 to play. Reggie then took 2 seconds to hit a 3. Knicks inbound, Reggie steals the ball and runs behind the 3-point line to tie it. He then sinks 2 free throws to score 8 points in 9 seconds to win the game. But Hali's moment wasn't like that. Somebody else did the dirty work. Pacers down 14 with 2:45 to play. Playoff teams in that situation were 0-970 before this. But Aaron Nesmith went on a historic heater. This dude hits 5 3-pointers in under 3 minutes to help Indy come back. If it wasn't for Nesmith, Hali's little choke celebration never happens. But that's the thing about Tyrese. The deep team around him is the secret sauce. They are a bunch of players that people gave up on. Take Nesmith, for example. He was the best shooter in college basketball. Hit 52% from 3 at Vanderbilt. So the Celtics use a lottery pick to get him in the 2020 draft, but that shooting just didn't translate. Over 2 seasons, he scored 4 points a game and shot 32% from 3. Back and forth from the G League. So Nesmith was just some throw-in player in a trade to get Malcolm Brogdon. And in the short term, Boston won that trade. Brogdon won 6th Man of the Year and helped the C's make the conference finals. But in the long term, not great, because Nesmith's shot finally woke up. This year, he hit 43% from downtown, 54% in these playoffs. Plus, he leads the Pacers in playoff rebounds. Yo, he's 6'5", 3-and-D wing like that is hard to find in the NBA. C's messed up. Another one is Obi Toppin, who the Knicks gave up on. Must have felt so sweet throwing down those lobs in the Garden. But then there's Pascal Siakam, who is never mentioned when people talk about stars. Do you notice that? Even though dude was the second best player on a championship team, he's still underrated. But he gets to Indy in a trade last year, doesn't try to take over the team as the big vet. He just fills in what the Pacers don't have. For example, the only Pacer who can play in isolation, in the post, get around his man to the basket, or a mid-range turnaround J. At 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan, basically unguardable for most of the league. So Hali doesn't have to be that modern-day score-first point guard that most people expect him to be. Like in the NBA right now, when you think all-star guard, you think like Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant. No, Haliburton just does these simple things really well and probably talks too much trash, but so what? The NBA needs a good villain. All this talk about face of the league, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, what about villain of the league? Hali is actually the perfect player for this. Think about like annoying NBA players that people hate. It makes the game more fun to watch. Patrick Beverley, Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green. What do all these guys have in common? They're all underrated, came to the league with a chip on their shoulder. And not only was Hali slept on in the draft, his original team gave up on him, trading dude away. Made fun of for not even playing in the Paris Olympics. So it makes sense that while everybody from fans and players are calling him overrated, Tyrese can be a little annoying and corny when he proves those people wrong. But the Celtics are going to go through even bigger changes this offseason. Aaron Nesmith would have been pretty sweet on a cheap contract right now because they are expensive. And now with Jason Tatum out with that Achilles tear, Boston has to trade some established stars. So which guys are most likely to be gone this summer?